Have you ever been in the position where someone has let you down badly? I suspect all of us have been in that space. Someone may have made a promise to you with good intentions, but it just sort of slipped away. Most of us remember it though, don't we? Well, if you're like me, you do. What about you? Have you ever been in the place where you promised something, perhaps more than you could meet, and it too has come to nothing? How do you feel about it from that side? I think that most of us know something of a situation like this in their lives. Last week I spoke about Joseph, Jacob's son, who was sold into slavery by his jealous brothers when he was just 17 years old. Although he did all the right things, he was accused of a gross wrongdoing and then unjustly thrown into prison. It would have been a terrible situation. Joseph once again, though, gained favour because of his willingness to help with a smile in spite of his circumstances. He was put in charge of a number of prisoners. Now, he could easily have grumbled about inequality and unfairness, but he trusted in God to bring him through. What is that old saying about God? If God brings you to it, he will bring you through it. Now, it so happened that during his time in prison, he came across two men in particular, men of influence. He was one of Pharaoh's cupbearers. That is, he checked everything brought to the king to ensure that it met the safety standards of the day. And the other person was the chief baker. Now, whilst they were in prison, they both had strange dreams, which of course bothered them. You can read it for yourself in Genesis around about chapter 40, and I recommend that you read it. Joseph interpreted their dreams, and then he asked the cupbearer to remember him to Pharaoh. But he didn't. Once again, Joseph could have given up because of the promise that was never delivered. It just didn't happen. The message today is never ever give up. Joseph was in prison unjustly. He stayed there for a number of years, but he kept his faith in God. The truth is that despite the very best of intentions, people forget, but God never forgets. He remembers you. A favourite verse, Romans 8:31, says that if God is for you, then who can be against you? The message today is simply trust in God, always, even when you have no idea where life is taking you. I think that's worth thinking about. Have a great week.